Hello and welcome to Knife Delights. Boy, I tell you what, I've got another terrific antique store find. I am so excited here. What we have is a Hammer brand fixed blade and a Hammer brand Camp King, and they both went into this combination sheath. Isn't this fantastic? I didn't know something like this even existed. So this goes down into here, and you can see it's a wide pouch there for it. And then, of course, your sheath. Now, these knives need a little bit of loving here, as you can see. But just initially, you can see all this green stuff on here, kind of like what you get off of brass. So we're going to have to get that stuff cleaned up. And yeah, isn't this fantastic? But the blades themselves, I don't even think they've been used. I just think it's been stored improperly. But there's a good shot of that Hammer brand tank stamp. I just love it. Of course, Hammer brand was bought out by Imperial. Yeah. Just a classy tank stamp. There's your cap lifter and screwdriver. And I don't remember seeing this on Imperial Camp Kings, but you see on the can opener, it says can opener. Isn't that cool? I'm going to have to check my other Camp Kings, but I don't think it says that on there. I did find one of these sets on sale on an auction site. Now tips broke off, so I guess they did use it for something. But still, in pretty good shape. The cover here looks very good, but as you can see, there's some damage to this cover over here. But overall, it's in fine shape. And of course, this is the fixed blade hunting knife. There's the tang stamp on it there. It's a very light tang stamp, but you can definitely see it. It is a Hammer brand. Now these knives and sheath are just begging for a refurbishment. So I'm going to start here. I'm just going to see what I can do initially here to get rid of some of this. A little bit of rubbing compound. This is the number 7. Get this at automotive stores and other places, hardware stores. Just a metal cleaner, not so much a polish, but it does remove stuff. See there? I just want to see what I can get off before I throw it in the mineral oil. We'll just do it this way. Just do it by hand. I think a lot of it will come off my hand without having to use the Dremel. And I'll just keep working on this. So I'll do some more of this off camera and show you what I got, and then we'll throw her in some mineral oil. Well, I've never really seen such thick tarnish, and coming off of, I don't know if it's steel or stainless steel, bolsters like that, but it was pretty thick on there. But it came off fairly easy. Just took me a couple minutes, just a little bit of hand rubbing. So I've got it, pretty well cleaned up initially. And I'm sure that after I throw it in our mineral oil, it'll loosen up a whole lot of stuff. So let me get my tub. And as you can see, I probably need to change my mineral oil here one of these days. Getting a lot of stuff down in there, but for this, I think we'll be just fine. I did look down in the channels or down in the well. They look pretty good. But if you look up in here, you can see some dirt and stuff down in there. So, it never hurts. Let's just throw it in the oil and see what happens. So while the knife is soaking, I thought we'd work on this sheath just a little bit. And I'm using some saddle soap. And cleaning this leather. And I've done most of it. I saved this little part here to do on camera. But as you can see, the saddle soap does help clean the leather. And not only that, it has its own kind of a conditioning quality to it. Now, you only do it on the finish side. The rough side, you do not use the saddle soap on. But we'll just see what this piece, I saved this piece here. I hadn't done this yet. So we got that. And there you have it. So I'm going to let this dry. And yeah, if you didn't see it, it's kind of a flap. So they made the sheath and then they just kind of rivet this flap sheath on there. Pretty interesting design, don't you think? So I cleaned all of that, and that's looking pretty good. You can tell that it's worn. It's old. It's been worn. Gonna have to clean those rivets off and everything. But that won't take a whole lot. That won't take much at all. So after I let this dry, then I'll use some conditioning on it. There you go, see? Yeah, isn't it fun? Taking something like this and making it look new, or as new as you can. Yep. Boy, there's a lot of tarnish on here. Okay. Well, there's going to be a lot of steps to this video. So while the knife is soaking and the sheath is drying, let's start trying to clean up just a little bit on this one. Back to the rubbing compound. No need to try to polish it yet. Let's just see what this rubbing compound does. Take some of this stuff off. There's a little bit of stuff on this blade. And we'll just see what we can get by hand here. Just initially. This stuff works pretty good. Just, again, it's not a polish. It's just a metal cleaner is what they call it. It will restore some shine to it. But, yeah. It's kind of fun doing it by hand and not using the Dremel tool with all the noise and the mess it makes. I'll just kind of throw some of that stuff on there. You can see some of that gunk coming off. And we got this brass guard here. As you can see, it's got some stuff on there. And we'll just rub on it. Just takes a little time, a little patience, a little elbow grease, as they say. And it'll clean up. Now, I did see an ad for this knife. It wasn't part of a combo set, but just the knife, and it had a different sheath, of course. And in the description, they said it was a Bakelite handle. So that does appear to look like Bakelite, or the composition's just like Bakelite. And that was something that was common back in the 30s and 40s. Oh, matter of fact, I got my old grapefruit knife still sitting here, and that's Bakelite there. So, yeah, really kind of an antique look to it that way. And of course, this is kind of the old Bowie style knife. If you'll remember, I had a knife that they called the original Bowie. Yeah. And that's in one of my videos. That's a little too much there. There we go. Don't need a lot. And I sent that one off to John there at J.O. Ventures. He was having a giveaway, and he made a really nice sheath for it. That was an exciting time. Yeah. So you can see, we're cleaning this stuff up. Try to hit them rivets just a little bit, see what we can get off of them rivets. And get them shined and polished up just a little bit. So when I originally saw this in the store, I pulled out the fixed blade. So I didn't know, what brand of fixed blade it was. And if I hadn't recognized the arm there holding the hammer, I probably wouldn't have known, because the hammer brand part of the Tang stamp is pretty soft in there. But I recognized that arm, and I knew I had something special. So then I picked out the camp knife out of it, and I'm thinking, this probably isn't the original sheath. This is probably some sort of second market, or off-market type sheath that someone bought, and they just stuffed a Camp King in there. Boy, was I surprised, though, when I opened the tang, or opened the knife blade open and checked the tang on the Camp King and found out it was a hammer brand. So then I start looking on the internet and searching, and lo and behold, this is an actual set that Hammer brand came out with. Yeah, them rivets might take a little, might have to use the power tool on them. They're pretty dirty. We'll see. We'll see. There you go. See there? See how that rubbing compound cleans it? It won't polish it as good as like case paste, but it does clean it off. No, that blade's looking pretty good already. Look at that. Yeah, that's just with the rubbing compound. That looks really nice. And I'm getting a lot of the stuff off of here. And as you can see, it's not really polishing the brass, but it's clean. It is clean. I may have to end up using the Dremel just a little bit. This it is a full tang knife, as you can see. I don't know if I can get some of that off or not. It almost looks like rust. And oh, we don't like rust, do we? No, sirree. We despise rust. Yeah, some of it's coming off. There you go. So I tell you what, I'll continue to work on this off camera, but you can see here in just a few minutes how much nicer this knife looks.